Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Eva Glitter deck profile for November 2022. Been wanting to update the deck with the newest support we got from the new promos that we received. A new research card for Eva immensely helps the deck, since we only had one research card to go off of for a good while now. And we also had some new cards from set 6 as well. And that support definitely does help with the overall play style of the deck, just helping with setting up the research cards and being able to do all of your go-to plays. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the ride deck, the lineup is still pretty much the same, with our starter being One Who Craves Knowledge Eva. When if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is an afternoon nap, regardless of place Eva. With this card, when placed by riding from One Who Craves Knowledge Eva, search your deck for up to one research card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And it also has glitter, so that's very important to remember for all of your glitter plays. But just being able to add the go-to research card, and with our newest one being results of the experiment henceforth for the new research. Big help there to either search out whichever one we need, and it being a grade 1 set order research card means we can activate it right when we search it also. I also run the grade 2 for the ride deck, Smooth Research Progress Eva. When placed by riding from an afternoon nap, regardless of place Eva, search your deck for up to one research card, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So once again, you just have the option for the two different research cards in the deck now to search from, and then you can just go for the grade 2 one with this card, having two activated before you even get to the grade 3, which is Fountain of Knowledge Eva. With this one being our go-to one in the ride deck, we're also going to be running additional ones, but first we'll go over the actual research cards. We're running 4 copies of Experiment Successful. When it's put into the order zone, you draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. If your order zone has 3 or more research cards, you can Soul Blast one, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and bind it. This can take away from a lot of the rear guards they may resolve and just try to rely on for whether they be, being called back from the drop zone. It takes away that play. It happens a lot with decks like, Phantom Blaster Dragon with Blaster Dark, and even the new glitter deck taking away the grade 1 from Michu for Lyrical Monasterio. And with the new order, running 4 copies of results of the experiment henceforth, you play this card if your Vanguard has glitter with Eva in its card name. So you can have the grade 1 ready to go with this card. And also from the order zone, all of your rear guards with Obscuridide in their name cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects. That's a really great way to protect the main go-to grade 3, which you'll run. And from the order zone, if your order zone has 4 or more research cards, put this unit into your soul. You put this card into your soul, not a unit. Obviously, it's a order. And then you countercharge 1 and choose an Obscuridide from a card from your drop zone, and you put it into your hand. This just gives you more of the search to use, and having this just means you have 8 research cards to use. We're going to be getting even more with set 8, so it's just a big help having the additional one to have the easy potential for 4 to be run in the deck for you to search for. Since we went over the research cards, they play a big part in the deck altogether, having the normal orders set up in the deck, but we are also running 3 copies, like I said, of the Fountain of Knowledge Eva. With a Vanguard once per turn, you counterblast 1, look at the top cards of your deck, equal to the number of research cards in your order zone. Choose up to 1 card from among them, put them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, and this unit gets plus 5,000 to end of turn. So this, you just choose up to 1 card, and it can search out some pretty important ones, whether it be, your go-to glitter unit, which is Knight of Blackness Obscuridide, which helps for your rear guard power that this card can provide. And on Vanguard, when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 hand with 1 Obscuridide in its name, call it to rear, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So this just gives you the option to search out your glitter unit, which we are running at maximum copies because it's a very important card in the deck, and that is Knight of Blackness Obscuridide. On the rear guard, when this unit attacks, if your order zone has a set order, this unit gets plus 5,000 till end of battle. If it has 3 or more set orders, it gets plus 10 instead of 5. So once again, we have 8 orders now total in the deck, so just all the easier for this card. And it glitters with Eva. When this unit is placed on rear by a card's ability, if your order zone has 3 or more research cards, it gets critical plus 1 till end of turn. And on rear and guard circle, it gets intercept and plus 10,000 power, adding some defense to protect your Eva Vanguard. So very, very useful for that setup as well. That's it for the grade 3s. Moving on now to the grade 2s. I run 4 copies of the Tsundere Dragon. This is a card that came out in set 5 for the added option on rearguard. You use Soul Blast 1, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, discard it. If your order zone has a set order, it gets plus 5,000 to end of turn. So it plays off the whole drawing into the deck using Eva, searching for the research cards you need just for a Soul Blast. So as long as you have the Soul to use, you have the once per turn skill of searching. It's not just when placed, it's a once per turn Soul Blast. So very useful just to keep this card on the rearguard as well. And I'm also running 4 of the new Combine Rusher as just a unit you can call back from the drop zone when this unit attacks a grade 3. If your order zone has 2 or more set orders, it gets plus 10,000 to end of battle. And from the drop zone, when another order is played from your hand and put into your order zone, counterblast 1 and call it to rearguard. So if your opponent tries to retire your rearguards, you can even just use it for intercepting if you have the counterblast. Combine Rusher from your drop zone can just be a unit you call out and have an easy attack against your opponent with. And for the grade 1s, we have a lower grade 2 and grade 1 count just because, once again, the orders took up a good, number of the cards that we run the deck. But for the grade 1s, running 3 Detonation Mutant Bauble Mine. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted if your order zone has a set order, put it into your soul, and countercharge 1. You do counterblast a lot with the Combine Rushers and your Fountain of Knowledge, Eva. So being able to make up for the Combine Rushers and just be able to have a countercharge and soul buildup helps to then also replenish from when you use your Tsundere Dragon for draw power or any of the other plays. If you wanted to bump up the number of Bauble Mine, you could always put Combine Rusher to 3 since it works with the drop zone. So even if you heal this card from the damage zone or draw into it, you really only need the 1 because your other rearguard will potentially be 1 or 2 Obscure Died, having both of these on the rearguards to attack with for additional pressure. And then lastly, just the 4 Sentinel, running the 4 Violate Dragon. If you have the Elementaria Sanctitude, you can take out one of these for 1 copy of that Blitz order as an additional guard to go up against the triple drive that your opponent may have. For the trigger lineup, we're going for the 7 critical, so 4 of the Patrol Robo for the additional into Soul plus 2,000 power, 3 of the Cardinal Draco, just as a more generic critical to go for if you want to run the new one from set 6. It may fit a little more with the deck, but still, it doesn't really matter, it's just player preference. And for the next trigger, we're running the front trigger for added pressure with Obscura. You have plenty of draw power in this deck, so this card just helps for the additional shielding. And also for the heals, 2 copies of Cardinal Prima for the normal heal. And I have 2 Creaking World for being able to guard against a unit that attacked multiple times. If you wanted to put in the additional critical one, you can take out 1 copy of this card for that spot. With the last trigger just being the Eldo Breath over trigger, this is just immense pressure, getting the double critical and power of your front row units to end of turn. So if you get a trigger before this one, it just adds to that pressure. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, thanks to my buddy Nick for letting me borrow his Eva deck for the deck profile. It's definitely going to be an awesome deck, and with more support with set 8 right around the corner, it'll be that much more scary. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.